Hey, y'all. All right, let's get to day 42. Day 42 of fun marketing fun. Marketing secrets, whatever you want to call them, but just like some things just to remember, to remind you, and that you have at the top of your list so that you do these things right? So marketing classes are all the rage, right? Masterclass. I think it was Oprah who came up with Masterclass, and so then all of a sudden everybody started doing master classes without really understanding what it's for, how you do it. So today's lesson is Masterclass 101, right? So here are the 10 things that you need to figure out before you do them. So number one is always, why are you doing them? Why in the world are you doing a masterclass? So I normally get, Richelle, I'm doing a masterclass because I'm trying to get a client. Okay, well, is this the highest and best use to get one? Like, what else are you doing to get a client? Because it's kind of a long haul, especially depending on how long your master class is, right? So there's lots of factors that come into play. So just making sure that you understand that it's not like the be all end all. I get a lot of people who like, oh my gosh, because I only want to do talk to a whole bunch of people at one time instead of one person. Well, you kind of lose that when you do the master class. So hold tight. Let's talk about a couple of things. How do you fill the class, right? How are you going to fill this masterclass? Do you have an existing email list? Are you talking to people at networking, announcing that you have this masterclass? Are you going to run ads to get people to click to join this masterclass? There's a lot of different steps that have to happen before you can actually do it. Because the last thing you want to do is do a masterclass and nobody shows up. Right? So that's number two. Number three things is, what's the difference between a webinar and a masterclass? Not much. They're both online. The masterclass is supposed to give you more meat, but a lot of people just do it like a sales webinar. Like they're just on there just selling you the entire time, right? So in order to get people to actually stay to the end, if you say it's a masterclass, like you have to give way more meat than 3 things you need to do to get your business ready for 2024. Make a decision, commit to the decision, and number 3, hire a coach. Okay, that is not the way to do it. Or that, the 3 ways to have your kids stay home. 1 is make sure that they're excited. 2 is have them learn a skill, and 3 is get a backyard basketball courts if you're selling basketball courts. Don't do that, okay? Number 4 is make sure that you have a really clear call to action, a really clear CTA. And what is that, right? What do you want the person to do after they watch the masterclass? Do you want them to book a call with you or your team? Do you want them to just kind of hang around? Do you want them to click the link and buy right now? Like, be very, very clear. So I always start when I create the masterclass with the end in mind. I always start at the end. What do I want them to do? And then create all of the supporting material behind it. Keep people until your CTA. Like, when are you putting your call to action? So I always say, E&O insurance you got to have. So in insurance, E&O is errors and omissions, right? Don't really need that. You need to be talking about your CTA early and often, right? Hey, at the end, we're going to have you join us if this sounds like something that you want to do. If you've already heard what you need to hear about working with us, then my staff is actually in the comments. Just let us know. You can book a call right now, right? Early and often throughout the masterclass. That was number 5. Number 6, keep the same format as the evening news, right? Like, you've got to have a killer headline. Make sure that you are talking about what's in that headline throughout your masterclass. If you're not, you're going to screw it up and your people are going to drop off throughout the class. So you can tell that by if you do it like over over Zoom or anything, how many people are still on, how many people are still on after 15 minutes, how many people are still on after 20 minutes. Keep it consistent, like the daily news, right? You want to know why you're there, and don't just have the factor, wow factor. What is that, right? That's, you had a killer headline, you got them to show up, but you didn't do what you actually said you were gonna do in the headline, or it's taking you too freaking long. So make sure you're not doing that. Number seven. Number 7. Okay, this is loving Richelle telling you in a really nice way, but stop telling your whole fucking life story, right? Like, nobody wants to hear that. They don't care. They're there to know how you are going to solve their problem. They are not there to figure out how you got this expertise. They don't care. So please make sure that, yes, you should be able to interweave your story throughout the masterclass. And so one of the things that it's a skill. So you got to practice it, but you can absolutely do it. But don't spend 15 minutes just on who the fuck you are, right? Stop it. Stop it, because you're losing people in who you are, no matter how compelling your story is, because at the end of the day, we've all got a story, right? So if there's anything that I heard during my cancer journey, is everybody else's brother, cousin, sister, their journey. Never fun, by the way. Never fun, by the way. If you meet somebody who is battling, the last thing you want to do is tell them about your aunt, your cousin, your whatever. They don't care. They really don't care. All right, number 8. Have support in the chat for your Q&A and for your trolls, right? You're going to have trolls who are going to try to take over your masterclass, especially if you're doing it live. They're going to say, I've heard this in the 3rd grade. You're just copying it from somebody, and that may take you off of your balance, and you don't want that to happen, right? So you either want to shut them down, take control though of your masterclass so that it's not just everybody else taking control. You definitely want to have a Q&A section. You can decide if you want to answer the questions during, or if you want to tell them to hold it to the end. What I always like to do is if it's a point that I thought I got across and somebody hasn't done it, or it wasn't clear, then I will stop and say, hey, so-and-so asked a great question. Let me just answer that right here. If it's how much does it cost? How much does it cost? Look, I'm going to get to all of that in just a second. The only thing that we want you to decide while you're here is if this makes sense to you, right? So you want to kind of deflect those during it. Number 9, how often should you do this whole thing, right? How often should you do a masterclass? So if you're only committed to, 3 to just check this thing out, then save your time, save your energy. Because number 1, you're not going to be good at first. Number 2, nobody's going to show up. They want to see that you are consistent. And number 3 times is you haven't even kind of got your rhythm. So it's really special comedians who are able to do improv. It's really special people whose brain works fast enough to do improv. For most comedians, they go to the different smaller places, smaller venues, and test out their jokes. Even, Jerry Seinfeld, everybody, they go and they test them out. Chris Rock, he talks about all the time how he'll get the rhythm of the joke based on what happens in the smaller venues, okay? That's the same thing with your masterclass. You ain't gonna be good. And that's number 10, is it's okay that you're not good. That doesn't mean that you can't make money. That doesn't mean that you can't make sales. It just means that you have to get better. And so if you're not going to do them a minimum of 24 times, so at least 2 times a month for the year, save your time and energy. There's easier ways to go make money and to go get clients. All right, so that is your Should I Do a Masterclass overview. Of course, my name is Richelle Shaw on day 42 of having just the most amazing time sharing marketing secrets with you. always, 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 if you need help with your marketing, if you need help like with the strategy of what you should do where you should put a masterclass, right? So a free masterclass is normally at cold of people who have never met you, right? If you do it correctly, you can have tons of people coming into your business all of the time. All right, y'all. I love you for free. I'll see you tomorrow for day 43. All right. Bye-bye.